They anticipated it, but that's nice.
I'm putting it here now,
Dapper,
so you guys can see the mini map.
Elevation,
sorry.
both are right in front of him. It's gonna be big at least for the long haul, but otherwise the rest of Soniqs, because they're closed up by that wall, it's a little bit too tough of a choke point to even go through. They have no information from what's behind that wall.
I hope that's
okay.
okay.
It's only Dapper, but they could be running into a crossfire. So for now, they're just taking things nice and slow.
If you're joining an org that's not the org Tyson's with, then would you be allowed to cheer against your org and for Tyson? That's the thing. I'm not on the same org as Tyson, and so I asked my org, and they were like, "That's gonna." They said that'd be funny.
tenz already starting to push forward down towards A for a flank.
Very, very quick flank and getting all of that information. Now Sentinels fully on the rotation back, and you still have Dapper on this front.
Dapper still?
7 HP. Still
my God.
Still somehow can damage, taking down Crunchy, but quickly Sentinels. They have 2 players over in yellow box. And Shazam and Sick combined for the last 3. Sentinels pick up the pistol.
I think that pissed around kind of greatly shows the 2 different styles between Sentinels and Soniqs. I think both teams in that one were trying to read each other, right? Soniqs were anticipating a very aggressive style, at least coming from Sentinels, and that's why we saw Dizzy Life sitting in the back.
Should I put my camera up here? Would that be better for you guys? Less cluttered?
I think
I don't know where to put it.
Towards mid. So Soniqs were anticipating Sentinels get aggressive, and Sentinels were anticipating Soniqs to be super slow and defaulty. So they get aggressive, they get that ground, and that very early wall from Dapper really threw a wrench.
I put it below the map, but it looks really weird. Ooh, Tyson's getting really aggressive.
Now we see a little bit of that again as tenz. He takes up Pipes control. Gets that first contact, but not able to really find anything. He goes back into it again, but there you go. Crunchy, a celebrated player from Australia.
Kill feed, oh my God.
Quake, a long stint in CSGO. Now coming over to NA, fully committing to Valorant. Dance.
Okay, I'm just leaving it here.
Legend.
I'm sorry,
guys.
guys.
That's almost anticipated, right? When a player comes over from Quake, it's the pure mechanics that can completely discombobulate your opponent.
Yeah, I heard Crunchy as well. Yeah,
there you go.
What is it? A cup of coffee every day is what the
not
team
changing
it
anymore.
A couple of fans told me. So the dude is always going to be very fast, very cracked. So we'll see what he can do. Off of that first pick, it's a late lurk from Ian, the IGL here of Soniqs. That's going to get it progress up towards mid, straight through 2. And there's even a flank. But he has a classic Gus.
Oof, thank God.
Oh man, it was sidearm v sidearm too. Ian, super possible up that battle, but just couldn't win it. Not a lot of information either. Only able to catch up only one person, 1 pixel in a sense. And now it's just Dapper with the Ares sitting up on yellow, just grinding out damage, farming, and like you said, alone, but still able to heal. Sick is here. Same thing with Shazam off the flank. Wonderfully done by Sentinels again as they wrap.
Clean here from Sentinel. Soniqs, they're able to find first picks. I think they're really trying to shut down tenz. I think that's the biggest issue, at least for the side of Soniqs, is that coming from Oceania, I remember we discussed with Ian, is that the skill level isn't as comparable to maybe North America. So this is going to be kind of a huge change in terms of playing in Oceania and coming to North America, is that the skill gap, at least when you're playing against the #1 team in North America and probably one of the best players in the world in the form of tenz, there's going to be a huge learning curve, and Soniqs are starting to slowly adjust to it as now they've got the rifles out, but Shazam is ready to battle with an op.
I love this. He's
so quick now, you see the Viper wall. Right on up towards B main. They quickly take it down. It was just for that first contact. See if they can catch up a little bit of space for Dizzy to get on top of box.
Oh.
Now you still have Ian on the wrap, almost able to catch one in mid too. But look at the space that Shazam has made. That's an instant frag from onto Ian. Not only that, but it cleared out the rest of A main. And now they already begin to rotate.
Yeah, the wall up as well is going to make this really difficult of a plan.
Tyson's on 56 ping.
Otherwise, they're going to be super exposed.
Yeah, it's really it's painful for him.
Get that plant right in front of that double stack box.
It'll be nice though when he's in Nolly, he'll get a little
bit less. So much of a delay, but they've thrown a wall up themselves. Snake fight straight up towards Shazam over the bridge. He's not going to be able to have much of a fight here, and there's really no counter as Soniqs will get the spike down for the first time in this game.
Crunchy out and away, not taking up any HP. That's probably the most important part. Even with the wall bangs, it was still just fine, so still backs up, and now it's full control for Sentinels. At least the site, they just want to get this spike down, but Bob getting 2. You still have Plix playing around yellow box, down to 5 HP. Zombs with a pick.
He's got the
Crunchy
spam.
has to get it through the box, trying to spam, can't find it. Shazam down to 50. Oh, and he gets the defuse.
Nice. Oh wait, what's Shazam's HP at?
Made the wrap all the way from B main to mid. And Sentinels, although they make it a little bit more dramatic, it was dominant from the rip as they took back B main.
He tried to go for such a long flank to try and catch the players off guard, but Sentinels, that high tempo. Soniqs have, I think we heard it from Ian himself as well. Again, I'm going to keep referring to this little conversation we had, is that Soniqs have always been a very dominant team in Oceania, and that's because of how good they are with post-plays and retakes. But the main thing is in Oceania is that teams are a lot more cautious. They're a lot more patient on the retake. But again, that style change, North American counters, or apologies, Valorant, Sentinels being so aggressive early on, Gus, finding so many early openings, Soniqs completely caught off guard.
As we go back with Soniqs. This time they might be committing the bodies over towards A,
Shazam.
and now Sentinels. They already had Shazam early, but it's a 1-2 combo coming in from Dizzy and Bob, taking down Shazam and Zombs. So now man advantage for Soniqs. That's already more. As tenz lines them up, catches 2, and still a whole lot more damage to another. Sentinels. At least have 2 players over towards the back of site, Ian and Dizzy.
Good job, Ty.
Trying to make their way away from this dangerous elbow position. Sick taking on some damage. Long range with a Phantom. Can't get the damage. Instead, it's Ian getting the kill on the tenz. And Sick shock dart takes down Ian.
That's good.
Dapper picks up Shazam, but it doesn't matter. Dapper finishes up the job himself. 3 players survive for Sentinels at the end of a 4-0 lead.
Sentinels are locking it down on either site. It's like Sonic can barely get a foot forward into the A site. Most of their success has come from this B site execution.
Well. I feel like Jet on op, especially this round, is pretty OP.
On this A site is such a huge threat, and Soniqs, I think they're starting to realize, but there is a slight adjustment. Shazam will pick back up the operator. tenz is going to stick it towards mid.
Is this live or pre-recorded? This is live. Well, they're obviously like a few rounds ahead.
Here by Bob to try and split that left side, so they can focus entirely here towards right where Shazam is with the operator. But Shazam has been so punishing with it. But he does miss the shot. He's got it back.
Who's the IGL? Shazam is.
Whoa.
Oh.
There you go. Plix just holding W, going through, fighting Zombs and elbow. But instantly the Viper's pit, the domain expansion goes up, and now Bob at least has full real estate now, but look at the jump on top. Not gonna be able to find anything. Instead, it has to be Bob to take down tenz, and indeed he does. Man advantage now for Soniqs. 3 players in the back line for Sentinels. And Crunchy even picks up Plix right in the middle. This Viper's pit is just taking up so much space.
Oh, there's so many.
So dangerous for Sentinels to even go through.
No.
Plix is gonna take down Sick with the boom bots. And 1 more remaining. It's Dapper in a 1v4. Still has a wall to work with. Wants to put that in front of the wall. Quick burst takes down Crunchy. Big frag. Still has to deal with a player over towards elbow, and he gets taken down. That's the first round.
Domain expansion,
I love the way Soniqs, or in particular Bob, played that retake, played that post plant with the Viper's ultimate. So well done. There's a
Sentinels are special grade curse.
He gets the Viper's
that was a good pick.
Just a little bit upwards. So now Sentinels have got to worry about the verticality effect and then all that space underneath.
Unlucky.
So well played to the side of Soniqs. A great execution.
Soniqs did play really well that one.
Those are the shining moments that we need, and the Aussies are on the board finally.
Viper's ult is so stupid now. No, like it's insane.
Now recollecting ourselves back into this round. Both
Viper is stupid now.
For Soniqs have their ulti, Sully.
I might have to main her.
Oh my Bob. It's
Tyson.
Bob instead. I think that was a
Tyson's done the same thing for the past 2 rounds now.
Of tenz, so punishing early.
So quick.
And we didn't mention this earlier, is that Dizzy, we're gonna see him on the stop over and over. He is a pure jet operator, so we'll see what he can do against Shazam.
It's all good, tenz and zombie.
Covers up the swing. Zombs ran right into it. This were the new patch. He would have done 50 damage.
Oh, Gus, look at this. Ian is on such a late lurk towards the B side. It's completely open, and the biggest thing is Soniqs have split Bob's utilities of both A and B. So at least Sentinels have no idea where this hit is going to be coming from.
Yeah, well, Dapper the lurk.
So sick. You can kind of tell that he is putting up at least a little bit of attention, but that turret going up gives an audio cue back to Dapper.
I think they're faking it.
Dapper! Yes!
Yeah, as Ian goes down, this might have to be a cancel, but they are
still, it looks like they're still going to go forward.
Wall needs to go up, and Dapper's got a really good angle here, as he's got a boost over on the wall.
Mike is always, like, really good at lurking.
They still have the Viper wall that they set up early on in the round. This was their setup. This was their plan early on anyways. They put up the stage wall at least. Dapper through the fence. Couldn't get anything. Plix takes him down. Hunter's Fury early. Dizzy! Misses out on a clean shot mid. Would have given it a 2-man advantage back to Soniqs. But now
that's like
exactly
Kyedae
but they still have the bodies to fight and through the Viper wall.
Trying to op.
Taking down Plix. This is starting to become disastrous for Soniqs, but they still have the chance to at least take it on down. 3 players both on sites for Sentinels. Daisy, Life, and Bob combining for 2. Now Shazam's in a 1v3, and Crunchy still wins it.
Kyedae on Soniqs? Of course not.
But they win it anyways.
Got really, really scary. If Dapper had gotten that first kill onto Plix in the back, that would have been a huge stud, at least to Soniqs' push.
They're not bad.
Slowed them down by a whole lot, losing that extra duelist. But Sentinels, I think Soniqs are kind of changing up the pace. Sentinels are getting kind of a little off guard, right? That early dash or that early blast pack straight into the face of tenz from Plix caught tenz completely off guard, and Sentinels, they had to adjust. Soniqs
Rosa
are
ult
starting
and
to pick up the
Kyedae
tempo against North America's best, and now we're seeing a true clash of the Titans.
True Clash of the Titans. Why are they talking so anime?
Dizzy with an early shot, not able to get anything. This time it's actually double over towards B main Sully.
It's Ian again on that lane.
It already is on 1060.
tenz doesn't have the line of sight unless he walks to the right side. He might just tenz find the kill. No, Ian with the better gun will give them an advantage. But look at this push from B main. This is huge from Shazam, but he misses every single knife.
He only has a classic to work with now. He goes down to Crunchy and Dizzy. Watching Inner takes down Dapper, so Sentinels a little bit lower on firepower. They end up losing out all 3 of their initial battles.
This is interesting.
You're going to be able to recover. Sick. That is going to be spotted here. Slow Orb is well committed to top bridge. He can maybe stop this spike. No. Wall going up is going to make this a whole lot more difficult than the Boom was even discovered him. It's so punishing with that information. And yeah, in a 5v2, Sentinels can maybe get an exit here or there in the form of Zombs as he's the last one alive, which it doesn't look like he will. Style on him, Plix. Show him where you come from. Sentinels, 4-3. Hey.
That's the first international teabag.
Wake up, boys. Oh my.
Okay.
I hope you don't let them get
They saw that. They might go into a different mode. Demon mode potentially is now they do have the firepower back, Sully.
They're gonna wake up now. Fuck, they just awoke the beast.
Instead of going towards A, where he's been able to punish a couple of Soniqs players, but that was in the early rounds. Now Soniqs are kind of committing blast packs to get that control, throwing that wall up, and yeah, Plix straight to it. Right off the rip is looking for an early pick. Shazam is going to get full control of B, however, but the lockdown is the main focus. With 3 players here, they're going to have to wait this one out. And Soniqs, with no control towards B, it feels like they have to commit. But the spike, it's nowhere near that side of the site or side of the map.
Still want to take up this control. This could be a great fake. All the bodies for Sentinels are around here, except for one. Shazam actually takes down Bob over towards B as tenz gets the kill onto Ian. There goes a frag from Dizzy. The spike is coming back to the A site, but this is the jaw of the beast. Sentinels still has the 3 bodies here, but one of them goes down. Nice pick from Plix. So goes on away, has tenz on the other side of the wall, and he can't go up. He just used one of his satchels.
That was a good wall.
Get this.
At this point, they're just stuck.
Yeah, Bob is gone as well. They are really stuck because that wall is going to be huge because it blocks off tenz line of sight where they can maybe get the spike down right in front of the double stack again. They really need this wall to break. 35 seconds left. When does Shazam maybe start to rotate? They are anticipating maybe this is going to be a cancel. Maybe it's going to be a fake and wrap towards mid given the time. But Soniqs, they're waiting patiently. The wall breaks and so does tenz. He goes down, but it's Sick back with 1.
Sick still around.
He's gonna cut him off.
Oh, that's the spike. Yes, he can.
Yes.
Crunchy doesn't anticipate it, and there goes the route. Now to 1v2. Dizzy has missed a couple of pivotal shots, but has a chance for redemption.
Fake dash.
Has a close angle, and not only that, but he does have the knives. And
he's
gonna tap him twice. No, he's out in the way. Only has 1 more up.
He tried to do what Tyson does.
Waiting up at least for that tick of the spike. Finally, it is going down. Know that there's one close.
He's got a peek.
Oh, he gets it all to Shazam. Still 1 more remaining. The knives are still out. Dizzy still catching on bullets. No. The defuse never goes by. Dizzy plays time. The movement, a little bit questionable, but it doesn't matter.
The movement, a little bit questionable. And not a little bit. That was quite a bit questionable, but it's okay.
A huge clutch to tie things up 4-4. I mean, this was so well done by Sick. I won't even lie. Sentinels played this so well, but when you're in a clutch position, tacticality doesn't matter. Dizzy, extremely well done. I mean, it really doesn't get better than that in a clutch. 4-4. Sentinels They're really being tested here by the Aussie Sonics.
She's defending the L. I don't give a shit.
So Sentinels will be looking to pack on a little bit of damage. Early Viper wall
no
goes
matter
up by
how
Bob,
badly Tyson's team's getting beat, I will still cheer for them.
Already Sentinels get a whole lot
it's
of
fine, it's
information. They don't spot Iron on this lurk, so they can't expect him mid probably. And that's why we see those
I hope you guys aren't gonna be like bandwagoning.
Back away. I think now they're prepared for the B exec.
Oh, certainly, but in comes Iron again. Another cheeky lurk. This time it's up in kitchen. Spots Dapper. Dapper goes down to 30. Still has the heal orb. It's a good contact from Iron though.
It's all good.
To go away. Only one was that frag, but
they're really good.
Away almost
counter-stratting.
Yeah.
Look at that orb in mid. What
Smart.
on earth?
So well done here by Soniqs. I think they were anticipating, or at least expecting, maybe they would need to.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Soniqs are playing really well.
They work towards that B side, so they have that orb just in case. So that
Sentinels are still reading them, but
I think it was
like, look at that.
Dapper playing in the back, or maybe it was even sick as well in that rotation. So
their use of utils
Soniqs
also
get
really
the
good
spike
too.
down. Sentinels.
I don't know. I feel like their fundamentals might not be as good, like just aiming wise.
Let's see it. Iron. The first contact and elbow. The recon dart is gonna at least ping him out. Sentinel still going slowly, especially from the mid side. That shock dart does a whole lot of damage. Might take down Plix. Plix down to 7 HP. Just needs to stay alive. That eye does go a little bit high. Dapper still has a wall too, but this could just be a very
my Tyson.
They want to go for it. Daisy takes down one. Iron still. The defuse is going in, but the shot through from Bob takes down Dapper, and now it's a sick and a 1v4. Good attempt, at least from Dapper. The rest of Sentinels just pouring the bodies in.
It's okay.
Again, somehow, I'm thinking about the situations throughout that round
where
Soniqs, they were fighting a little bit more upper towards the back A position, but they still had their contingency plan solely in the back line.
Yeah, they had Crunchy on a very quick rotation, running down through mid just in case. Soniqs, these rounds are big. On the attacking side as well of Icebox, you want to maximize how many rounds you can get out of this one. They're really giving Sentinels a run for their money. Again, we're going to see Dapper playing solo on this B site, trying to get the wall up early to prevent any early B exec. But knowing Soniqs, they love to play with the picks. They love to try and get an opening.
Hi, you scare me.
He to play that angle, and he's going to go for more. Shazam right
he
behind
still goes for the...
With a second onto Crunchy, but Dizzy's there for one.
Fuck!
Nice kick from Dizzy. Into at least.
Fuck Dizzy.
Bleeding.
Who the fuck is this?
Tenz was looking like he was on a tear, looking for revenge too. He lost out on most of his battles.
He is on such a huge play.
He's been here so many times though, Sully. Sick is gonna check
Thank
this
you,
100
Sick.
times out of 100.
Thank you, Hunter.
I mean, that's more than anticipated, right? It's the conditioning. He's always gonna be checking kitchen after what has been plenty of rounds of Iron making that same rotation.
Yeah, I was thinking
Hunter's
that maybe
too
he could have
good.
done the timing in his favor, but no. 2v4. Viper's Pit is online. The thing is Dapper and Sick are waiting, and these rotations from both Shazam and Zons are way too quick. Yup, Viper's ultimate's gonna go up, and the recon bolt keeps them off the spike plant, giving more time for these rotations and to set themselves up for the retake.
If they choke this.
Yeah, well, the Viper's Pit.
Yes!
Out of it, and now the Pit is gonna go down on the Hunter's Fury. Ping.
Yes!
Sam gets the pick. 5-5, we're tied up again, Sully, as Sentinels, at least in that round, they just picked Soniqs up.
Oh, thank God.
And then by the time
they give me Zach with 100 bits.
They were more
I don't know who to go for. What do you mean?
That Sentinels are doing. It's all started with tenz.
Don't just go for somebody because they're winning. That is not the way to go. And thank you, Kwang Smash Shung Shush for this.
They've done it before earlier in this first half to adjust quickly to Sentinels.
Kyedae's toxic?
Can they do it again as we're heading to the last two rounds?
Yeah, maybe. I am a little bit.
The penultimate round of the half. This time it's a little bit more modified of a setup, at least for the Sentinels, where they actually have 3 over towards the A area. It's actually 2 close. Trying to look over towards A main. Speaking of close, we have Dapper again, who might just get countered by the showstopper. Blix trying to chase, but he ran out of the satchels, and now Dapper is out and away. The showstopper is gonna get wasted.
Waste of an ult.
He's gotten so much space. However, Sentinels, it's Sick to respond back with an hour drone. So now they've got the info that's gonna force Blix to back away just a little bit. And 3 players stacked up here by the side of Sentinels. It's Iron again on a very
Has
very
Tyson
late
ever
round.
like properly raged? Not in Valorant, no. In League of Legends, yes, he does.
there's an opportunity to maybe shut down two players. Zom's making a wrap back towards Rafters.
Or home country?
Nice Viper or Snake Bite straight onto the foot of Dapper is going to force him back a little bit as Ian opens things up on A.
It's a fast rotation too. It's the two players that have been mostly on a pivot.
Tyson, let's go.
Shazam coming back too late. Tenz in the back line. Crunchy immediately gets the pick onto Tenz. Dizzy, nice pick onto Sick. Still 2 up top on Rafters. Might be 3 in just a little bit, but they have full
that ping difference is like doing a world.
Going down. Zoms with a pick. Dapper up close. Takes down Crunchy with the wall open and the smoke still down. Dapper's actually going for the defuse. Shazam watching up top. Still 3 for Soniqs in the back line. Shazam misses out on the wall bang. No longer being defused as Dizzy gets the pick up to Zoms. 1 more player remaining. And it's going to have to come down to Shazam. He knows that there's a gap through. But with only an op, he just has to go nuts. Bob had that first contact and Shazam looks away for a split second. Somehow Shazam is still alive, but now he's done. Soniqs once again maintain a lead over Sentinels.
Dude, Dizzy is being so
I mean, you're streaming it. That takes a lot of bandwidth. But I'm on a separate line
so
of
many
internet,
quick scopes in such crucial positions. My goodness. I mean, it's the battle of Shazam and Dizzy. The ops going off ham in every single round. It feels like every round has got an operator kill, and it is such an influential one. Like quick scope on the same side. Dizzy
I swear, Kyedae always looks stoned.
Just to give Soniqs the 6th round, and we said going in now into the last 2 rounds. We're here in the last Sentinels. Shazam's no longer got an op. Dizzy has his, but it's the Blade Storm that might salvage something out of this one, at least for Shazam.
Tyson's near 60 ping. I hope he's gonna do okay.
Looks like we got a pause on the server. Oh, it's a moment for really everyone to take a deep breath, right?
This is an insane game so far. I think we kind of hyped it up that Sentinels were the very clear favorites, but Soniqs, man, they're proving why they were #1 from where they once were. And I mean, Soniqs, dude, they are being so deadly right now. They are definitely on the same skill level as Sentinels right now.
I mean, what a story for Soniqs to even get here, right? Because they already crowned themselves as king of the Oceanic region, and well, they left midway. They end up getting sponsored by Soniqs, and now they play up in a team house, or at least what we assume is actually a team office. And I mean, Soniqs, for them to quickly make that transition over, you already know that it's tough. Let's see how they fight up against Sentinels again. However, for one last round, early on it was Shazam with an updraft over in mid, misses out on his shot, but we already have an early pick.
And Zom's punishing Plix, who's gone for that blast back straight onto Belt, I think a couple of times now. Slowed down after that. Soniqs are a team that really relies on getting the opening pick with their duelists, right? Dizzy Life with that operator scouring the map, seeing what Crunchy can get, or apologies, Plix, what he can find as well. So Revive comes in.
Thank you,
Bob is going to get 1 frag back. 4 versus 5 as Soniqs.
She loves
Dizzy again to just play this really late lurk, and he's even brought out the Blade Storm to try and find something, but on the opposite side, the Viper wall is ready to go, but Sick, he's alone here. He's got no company as Shazam has to make this rotation. Same thing with the rest of Sentinels. They're down a man early on. They need to try and get a pick back here. Shazam alone, top of tube. All this utility being committed here in Sentinels. It's going to be so difficult. Spike will be committed, but no Shazam. He's up top, but the Spike goes down at the last second. It's a 4v3 with kills going back and forth. Soniqs fine too, and Sentinels are down to just 2. It's against Shazam, juggling between the guns, Blade Storm ready, and a 3v2. Soniqs have already backed away. 2 players by Banana. A big paranoia goes in. Shazam needs an opening, and he's got one, but punished by Bob. It's down to Zoms in the clutch. 1 versus 2 to tie things up. He's stuck in the dark cover, but out goes the swing, and down he goes. Ian picking up a 7th here for Soniqs to give them the lead going into the second half.
I mean, unreal. Now Soniqs just putting into a storyline type way, right? Soniqs up 7-5 over Sentinels going into the second half. What would be the favorite side for themselves statistically, the defender side?
What server are they on?
Having this lead, at least
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
I feel like it's all about Soniqs proving themselves to themselves
and
the rest of the region that they're in, North America, and maybe even to the rest of the world, that it always feels like Oceania has been this, like, has always been a
Tyson's
weird,
not doing too
region
well.
for at least
I think everyone can see that, but it's
so
okay.
for Soniqs to come in and just straight out the water, compete at the level of Sentinels on one of Sentinels' more strong maps, one that we've seen them play competitively. It's such a huge growth.
Stop bitching about the ping and splitting difference.
Now in North
I'm not
America,
bitching about it.
They've got to do it again in a second half.
Well, let's see it now. Already starting off. A couple of missed shots. Already deep in A main. And Soniqs. Looks like they want to almost completely abandon this A site as Sentinels. They do take up a little bit more control. See, at least combo pinging out. Not exactly going to get anything. And they haven't taken up that back control yet. But it's actually going to be a deeper wall than they're used to. Now Plix on top of Raptors. This is really the only position that they have to look out for. 3 bodies looking at that exact same position. tenz takes down Plix. Shazam and Zoms with another one.
Nice try.
tenz with a second. Now it's just Dizzy in a 1v5.
Dapper just knifed him, yes! We love that. Good job, Mike.
International team bag. Sentinels.
There we go.
Oh,
you know what? We're good.
For sure. They want to really state who
we're
are
good.
the kings.
We're back.
Oh man, Dapper, that's classic Dapper. They were feeling it. We were anticipating. We're like, okay, when is Sentinels gonna bring the heat back? When is the fire?
You know what? I think that is worse than teabagging.
When is that gonna come
knifing
back?
somebody.
And there it is.
That's
Dapper
like
with
the
a
funny
knife
shit ever.
jumping around the corner. Second half already off to a roaring start.
And thank you, Alban.
Start of the second half, 6-7 Soniqs.
I just said sub. I meant sub.
Sentinels, a slow progression straight towards the B site. That Viper wall doesn't cancel anything. Soniqs are ready for it.
It's gonna be at least triple for Soniqs.
I think it was
early
skip
on.
for the sub. We'll see.
Get that weird angle for the Viper wall too. It was just for that initial pick, but otherwise it's just gonna be very quick for Sentinels. They already have that wall up. No wall bang those. The wall does cover up.
Oh, the timing.
At least green box. tenz watching the back line. Not gonna be able to get anything just yet, but still maintaining it. Takes down Ian. Good trade back from Crunchy, but it's a man down for Soniqs. They do start to converge just a little bit more. We're used to seeing a little bit more flank play, but in this case,
like half,
and there you go. Like you mentioned, Zoms. So looking over towards that mid side could come by in a very quick crunch. And Plix, he gets counted out. The wall is still there. Plix has to get away some way, somehow. Zoms clears the angle. Dizzy with another shot. Oh my, this spike is going down so quickly.
Nice.
Zoms, he can clean this all up. Takes down Crunchy. Still one more on site. The spike is already dead and gone.
Yes!
He gets one to
well
the
done.
back of the head. Sentinels have tied it up 7-7.
He's dead.
Nice clean stuff from Sentinels just to kick off the
and
second
thank you,
half.
Reps,
Tie things up
$3.
7-7, but now the gun round. That was such a punishing round by Soniqs to take 4 players away from Sentinels, 4 reinvestments. So going into this one, round number 3, where we expect the winning team of the first 2 rounds to have a bonus, it's more or less going to be Rifles v Rifles. The only person not upgrading being Zom, the lone survivor. And Soniqs, it's an early battle here. It's already, players are looking to swing very
overrated.
early. Never mind, Bob is going to back away after the Viper wall goes up.
It's okay. You'll never go pro in Valorant anyways, so...
At least early on into this round, Sentinels might be playing a little bit more defaulty in a sense. It's more individual.
I'm sorry. Is that rude? Maybe.
The A site, same thing with over towards
wanna
mid.
be pros saying shit like that, so weird.
Sully as Sentinels, they slowly but surely take up
Have
a little bit more
night.
control of the map.
Ian has got a great contingency plan here. A beautiful.
I'm sorry. When you talk shit about my boyfriend, I'll talk shit back.
More importantly, these nano swarms, one behind that double stack, one straight in front of where the spike will most likely go down, just to prevent it from going down. Sentinels are being slowed down, but that shock dart just broke literally everything except for the one swarm. So most of the util, the alarm bot is still waiting at the top of tube, and Ian is still able to get a first kill.
Our
Swarm goes
boyfriend.
out to prevent any
Sure.
push. Now he's got to be a little bit more worried about the yellow.
I'm not
team.
gonna lie to
Nothing
you,
yet for
those
Sentinels. They are
Soniqs,
still spread out
like the
across
way that
map,
they
looking for
clear
at
angles
least a
and
trade back
corners
to
is
get
like
them
really
going.
fluid. It's nice.
Bob has the pick.
Like, you see what I mean?
He takes down
Movement's actually really
tenz.
good.
That doesn't happen often.
Nice shot,
No,
Jason.
no, it's just a pure 1v1. It was
And
Bob
thank you to Boy Pit for the
with the
5 months.
headshot position too. And just putting that in perspective too. Bob 1v1 against tenz, but now the spike going down on the B side, practically on the lonesome. But watch out, they do have a little bit of a lurker,
3v5.
almost going right into kitchen.
Yeah.
It's none other than Sick in that position.
Oh, think about where the spike has gone down as well.
Sick.
Sonic should be expecting the majority of these players to be playing in this ultimate area, so it's up to Dizzy to maybe get a trade, but it's Ian to punish Sick first. A paranoia ready for Zombies, but in a 2v5.
Ooh.
It's like they're almost anticipating it. They're still checking these angles. That's unreal. Zombies now in a 1v4. And Soniqs, they wanted to make absolute sure that this B site was empty, that no Sentinels players were surviving. I mean, like you mentioned, it was almost a perfect setup. I
prefer closer games than I do watching the boys just absolutely roll over people. I think it's a little bit more fun to watch.
Being planted in that default position, you almost expect everyone to be
but
back
Soniqs
in yellow,
are playing really well.
And Soniqs completely read that situation.
Yeah, they saw that wall go up and they realized, okay, with the wall going up in defender spawn, they're either going to rotate back to banana.
Too stressful.
But given the
yeah, when it gets to like a third map,
it's going to be a wrap towards mid.
Really
and you saw the idea that Sentinels had, and that's why tenz was trying to win that fight against Bob, so he could have that alt mid control so that they didn't have to worry about their flanks. But unfortunately, with tenz going down to Bob, it created a huge
You know
gap in
what?
that
Tyson
position.
did eat Subway instead of a homemade meal today, so maybe that's why.
Now the double duelists both making their way in deep into A main, just trying to get a couple of picks, but it's Plix getting a pick. Zombs takes him back. Now man advantage for Sentinels, but they can't just put up that wall and get that spike down, but instead it's Crunchy on top of Raptor taking out Shazam. Still under. Bob is here alongside.
No.
Crunchy and Buckets too. Quickly off the rotation. Soniqs the overwhelmed Sentinels.
Wow.
Bob is a machine right now.
That
so many crucial
was
kills.
actually really
no way to put
good.
It. This man is cold-blooded. His agent is, and so is he. Sentinels. That is a huge shock for Bob to win 1v1 on the first engagement on the right side.
Soniqs are playing very, very well.
Soniqs. They are competing at such a high level right now against Sentinels, and Sentinels,
we
know them to be a team that can adjust in this portion of the match. When you hit that quarter part of
They're playing so aggro now.
This is where you adjust. This 5th round, while they are on an eco, are going to feel out the rest of the map, but this is where we see the little changes. Ian, from out the sky, it's Shazam to be sent back down to earth.
Yeah, like a clade pigeon. Goodbye, Shazam. 50, 1, 2, make it 3. No, does not take down Zombies. But man, oh man, Soniqs with an explosion of frags. And they're still looking to go at Sonic speed to try to finish off this round.
What is happening?
It's just such low HP. That is, oh my goodness, Soniqs. From the first shot to Dizzy, dude. When we were doing our VOD review, I said Dizzy isn't your traditional jet. He's not one to really dash in and just open up the map and get all this space.
We know it's an eco round, but
like that, he is so good with his aim. His operator, his blade storm, everything about this guy just screams jet. He is the living embodiment of it. You thought Wardell was it? No, this guy is now Dizzy, coming up huge for Soniqs. They've got a lead 10-7, and Sentinels. I talked about adjustments.
What's an eco round? An eco round is basically
round number 6 in the second half is where you need to start to turn it up.
It's the economy
and this is so pivotal, Sully. Look at the economy now for Sentinels. They could get reset right here, right now.
It's like if they can fully buy or if they can only half buy.
Disengage. Oh, he's gonna get it as well.
What?
Shazam was peeking the other side. Yeah, Dapper with that instant revive is gonna bring him back to a 5v5. They were
his full body wasn't even peeked out.
Worked up towards Dude, giving his position away, and that should cause a little commotion. So Sentinels, they've got all this info, they've got all this control. Scaring Soniqs just a little bit.
And thank you, 13E11A.
They realize tenz is backed away, but Sentinels are starting to filter back out through the B or through the A side, back into B. Where Bob, only man standing there currently, is waiting for them. Ian pushed down through tube though.
Oh, Ian.
Oh, and they have no sense to watch the flank Sentinels.
I was about to say, first of all, if Ian had gotten there a little bit earlier, could have gotten at least that information that they're sticking around to B. But instead, now it's going to have to be a full retake from Soniqs with only Bob looking out on site. Look how tight this angle is, man. I mean, how on earth could he even get a pick from here?
Oh, no.
Once someone wide swings in, does take down Sick, but he's instantly taken back by tenz. 4v4.
They do have a revive available, at least for the side of Soniqs, so they can get that man advantage. So it's big for Bob to get that first kill, and I think it would be valuable because you have those snake bites. But Ian, this is the fight that needs to go the way of Sentinels. Ian, it's an off angle, and he's got the first kill here for the retake, but Shazam needs this trade. Lockdown goes into effect, and this just became so much more difficult for Sentinels.
And Ian is sticking around, but look at the wall bangs through. Could it actually take down the wall?
There it is.
It does. There you go. Shazam takes down the lockdown.
No.
And now Ian needs to fight up Shazam in a 1v1. Now he pops out. tenz goes down. 1v4. Dapper just has to hold down this fight. Just has to play time. Ian gets the kill. Do they have time?
No.
No, they don't. Soniqs.
Sure.
Of their team. Life's edge.
Well played, Mike.
Let's
go, team! We fucking got this.
Reset on Sentinels. You mentioned it right before. Sentinels, that full buy after
We're
5
better.
rounds of not having good economy. That was
We're
it.
better.
And the fact that Soniqs, they were so close. They took down every single Sentinels player. So Sentinels, they are still going to be hurting. It's the same situation. Sentinels, this is a round they have to win, but they need to win it confidently and
They do need to win it.
Soniqs have got plenty of cash built up over these last 5 rounds where they can continue to invest, dig deep into their pockets to get the operator and continue with buys.
I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie.
A little bit of an ultimate check. We do
Do I
have
love
that
Tyson?
Viper's
Yeah, I do.
hits readied up in this
Karma
round.
for
but it doesn't
yesterday.
look like we're gonna have Bob, at least in a good anchor position. Instead, he's gonna leave his teammate around the B site. The KJ, at least. For Sentinels, they're still maintaining alert
That
over on A
Viper
side, but
buff
still
nerfs?
making noise.
Oh, they're
B.
not playing with
It's
the
mainly
buff.
gonna be there for rotation kills.
Yeah, but here's the thing is that Zoms, I don't know how far his smoke is going to reach.
Whoa,
It might hit spawn, but no. Instead to use the wall, Ian's going to break that portion of the wall so he can drop his nanostorm and get a wall bait, but no. Dapper's read it, makes a quick adjustment. Second storm to go down, but Dapper's clear of it.
Yeah, some decent damage, but it's certainly not enough to get a kill.
Oh no,
Ian was thinking
Zoms.
about it too. He was thinking about that possibility, but now Dizzy.
I'm getting so scared by like the people that are lurking.
Knows that there might be a little bit of a
I feel
flank.
like
This is just 2 sitting ducks.
Yeah, here's the
They're
thing.
just waiting for that interaction. So much action happening on the B site. While in the meantime,
know.
Dizzy was just in a 1v1.
Watch
There
out
he
for the
goes. The
Hunter's
Viper's
Fury.
pit is up alongside the wall. Not only that, but a Showstopper not going to be able to catch anything. Instead, it's Zapper going down. The defuse is still going in. Hunter's Fury going to be able to take down Ian, but still the defuse is going to go down on Crunchy. Zoms gets a kill back. And not only that, but Bob went down too. So the Viper's pit goes down, and Zoms and Shazam combined for 4.
better.
Sentinels have a 9th.
I don't know what's happening. That was a really fast round, but it's okay. We're winning.
Soniqs just got to take a second to breathe. It's 10-9 now. Sentinels fighting back with every fiber in their body.
Dude.
4 kills across the board. Well done on the post play. They were really sticking to the fact that Zoms was watching that flank and Sick had that Hunter Sphere to play with. They used such good ult combos there as well. Sentinels played that one extremely well in the post plant. Soniqs, even with their ultimates, the positionings that Sentinels took, playing that post plant, well done to them. But now it's
I don't know,
up to
but I like the
Soniqs.
casters. They're actually pretty good today.
Economy is
Well, I
starting to
know
take a
it's the
big,
exact
big
same as
tear
yesterday, but
after these last 2 rounds, and Dizzy, no, he's not gonna get it. 10,
better.
1 tap to his head, and there's an explosion, a burst onto the B site with 4 players.
Good job,
It's
Tyson.
gonna be the last time we're gonna be seeing Dizzy with the off.
Why did Tyson just jump
his
like that?
economy. Now Bob.
That
It was
scared
his
me a
second
little bit.
contact on the B site, but wasn't able to get anything done. Ian with a deep nanostorm, gonna try to catch Dapper.
Oh,
a little bit
Tyson,
of damage, but
thank you.
instead it's actually Crunchy in the back, rotating
Better.
through the spawn, and goes down to tenz. tenz with
Ah!
and he's just holding W on Flicks. Only as a Bucky, it can only play this position.
Don't.
Like Bucky.
Oh,
Still
thank
gets
God.
2, but it's just consolation.
Dude, if-
Sentinels, they get their
if
own
that
double digits,
raise
they tie up.
Just won
Tie
that
up
with the
this game,
Bucky,
and-
I'd
well, at least from
freak
that
the
round,
fuck
Sully,
out.
Sentinels, they just took it pick by pick.
Okay, listen, I am
Almost gave
I
it
am
to him,
all for
honestly.
NA. I'm an NA diehard, and Sentinels, they are feeling it. Specifically tenz in this round, dude. The confidence after those last 2 that they picked up from 7-10 now to 10-10 Sentinels, you can tell they're feeling it. They are playing so much more confident. They are in their element. And Soniqs, you can't get them out of it. 10-10, a very, very weak buy as Bucky's, Marshalls, whatever they can muster. And Soniqs really pulled off here on Nico to get to 11 Sentinels. The disparity of having no economy is now gone as Shazam shuts down 2 right off the bat.
Oh my God, what a flick from Flicks! Still could get a couple more, just has to go for no scopes from here on out, but it's very quick from Dapper
That was a
and Zoms
nice
to
shot.
make their way on. Again, the restricted firepower, Soniqs just can't get those early picks. So instead,
No way they're
Sentinels,
winning.
they're able to essentially go on a cakewalk and waltz their way into the A site. Still just Ian remaining in a 1v4.
couple of exits. Would be nice.
Oh my god.
Oh, Dapper. You know, that's one way to check your corners. You do a quick entire flick of your mouse pad. That works out, but Sentinels finding an 11, keeping things really clean as well. One player going down, they're going to be looking comfortable, not to mention 4 ultimates. We've got a couple waiting on the backside, waiting on the bench to be called if Soniqs need to get it. But this is a round where if they lose it, Sentinels now on 12. Soniqs with no economy, but with those 2 ultimates in Plix and Iron.
Confidence is back. It's so important.
We'll have Dizzy Life's Bladestorm
it really is.
This round. But Soniqs, this is it.
Like,
this
team mentality can change everything.
Number 1.
I mean, you mentioned it. Dizzy Life is going to have to buy up someone in the next round if they do end up lose. And, well, not only that, the rest of Soniqs, they're just aiming to win out this round. It's do or die, Sully, at this point. It's almost exactly the same scenario. Sentinels just a couple of rounds before, and now tenz on the lurk over on the mid side, takes down Bob.
Revealing area.
I recall
you made me yawn.
It's a good line of sight over towards the back lane of site 2, but Ian.
I just had a really early morning.
Spawn side. But this one's essentially going to be done. Sentinel's going to be able to get that spike plant.
tenz is feeling it, man. Walking up alone, Soniqs. 4v5, Spike gonna go down. A little bit of a spam, but I don't think Ian can find the right connections. A bit late on this peak. Can he win it against Sick? No, Punished goes down. 5v3 and Soniqs digging themselves a grave as, oh, Dizzy's committed the Bladestorm. They don't have this for the next round.
No way,
He's gonna have to save the op. It feels like at least.
Wow, that's so unfortunate because we mentioned that scenario and Dizzy still goes to the Bladestorm. They have to fight this up immediately. Soniqs making their way on. Shazam instantly with a pick onto Crunchy.
Ooh.
You still, oh god. I was about to say tenz. Could just shut it down off of a wide swing, but still gets traded back. It's still such a cruel scenario now for the last 2 players of Soniqs, as now they just won a couple of exits, but the economy is all too good. And Plix, he's stuck. He's gonna go down to either the bomb or a player. Look out for the economy too. Would have been, I think, 1K if he ended up only going down to the bomb. So Sentinels 12 to 10 over Soniqs. They have themselves a map point after Soniqs was firmly in the lead for a good bit.
Yeah, and look at this spot. It is horrific if you're in this position, at least Soniqs, right? We saw 2 Guardians. Ian can only afford utility and then some with the Judge now.
You love to see it, guys.
One more round Sentinels from what a heroic start from Soniqs. They look so good, but this is the thing. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again.
Well, he is
Sentinels know how to adjust, and they've done it perfectly here in the second half when it came down to the nitty-gritty.
That's a really good Viper wall, actually.
With the weak buy, the lesser utility, Sentinels, they've been tearing it up. Again, tenz is feeling it right now.
Can you really stop tenz when he's on this mode, when he's going demon mode, when he's ready to frag, when he's at his best? I mean, you mentioned it, Sully. He's one of the best players in the world.
Favorites.
Can you really stop him when he's on his A game? Let's see if Soniqs can even attempt to do so. You have Dizzy off the first contact. The one-way orb, and Dizzy wants to try to use it for his own advantage. And indeed, he opens up a huge entry pick for Soniqs, but it's already taken down.
Nice,
Dizzy has to fight up a second player in Sick, and now all of a sudden, the Uno reverse card has been placed down. Now Soniqs are the one down a player.
Oh, and look at this commitment from Ian. He's got the big ult that can maybe win them this round. Soniqs have got a lockdown, and they're going to the A site. Sentinels, they could be walking into the lockdown. This is the best case scenario, and you can see Plix is backed away. As soon as the lockdown goes in, he had the showstopper, but Zoms too quick on the trigger. It's Crunchy back for one.
Yeah, that Guardian though.
Crunchy only with a Guardian too, getting up such a huge pick. But look at the radius now of the lockdown. There's so much space over towards the back of site. The lockdown simply is not efficient enough to just keep Sentinels away from this site. They can keep the real estate. They can keep this control. And now Sentinels, they are on the prowl for the final few kills. As now it's only Bob in a 1v4. Hunter's Fury in solo use. Shazam, all 4 players looking for that last frag.
Perfect.
And Sentinels, dramatic. But they take up the first map over Soniqs.
Soniqs looks so good to start this game off. Sentinels, I've said it like 4 or 5 times, but dude, they know how to adapt. They know how to adjust, and boy, did they bring it. tenz started to turn on. It felt like everyone started to clip, but it was such a great battle. Both Shazam, both Dizzy, really good. Battling back and forth to keep this game as close as can be. Soniqs looked good, but Sentinels, we know them to be the best, and that's why they are the best.
Tyson is so hot.
Yeah, Sentinels, I mean, they still have yet another map to face on after this, but that was the map pick of Soniqs. But I mean, let's take it back a little bit, right? Soniqs, they have not played against any top tier NA opponent yet. This is their very first matchup, and they have to face against the best that we have to provide, and they still took them to double digits. We went 20 plus rounds in this game, and I mean, that's, if that isn't a glimpse of hope, I don't know what is. Soniqs has the fire, and they know that they have to prove it today. It's not like they're going to be eliminated for the rest of the Champions Tour either. I mean, they still have other chances over in Challengers, but this is their statement. This is their time to show up. Oceania can rise up right now and prove themselves as an international powerhouse, because now Soniqs, they still have a little bit of a fight against Sentinels, but 2 more maps to prove it. Let's see if they can.
Well, Soniqs down 0-1.
I normally don't go in when I'm streaming and Tyson's playing, so. Look at Dapper's tweet. Welcome to NA. Oh man. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go say hi to Tyson. And thank you, Austin, for this.
I feel like I need to defend my team's honor here, because this is just turning into a bit of a dog battle.
Like in groups always look.
I'm cutting you off here. I'm cutting you off. Cutting you off. He said G2's winning it. He said G2's winning it.
Need to wait till the next EU tournament, which could be in about 10 years now.
Take it with like a grain of salt.
No,
but that being said,
take it super literally.
Spike defused.
How's that cap? Why would I lie about my height? People were saying that he was 5'4". You guys are almost the same height. Yeah. When I started dating Tyson, we were roughly the same height. Hey Yosh. I'm 5'9".
Welcome back to the Valorant Champions Tour. It's Challengers number 1
What does diff mean?
for stage
Different.
2 here in North America, and we have the battle of 2 international bests. The best from North America facing off against the best from Oceania. And Soniqs,
Tyson literally seems like 5'5". Little god.
The stellar finish. My name is Upmine, joined here by Sully, and we have map number 2 coming up in just a little bit.
My man's got a periodic table on his wall. No, Ethan, I heard that he is a STEM major.
Masters Grand Finals, dude. Soniqs brought their
hello,
game,
hello.
and they brought it good to Sentinels. It was so close. There were so many insane plays, but again, we talked about Sentinels in that map and how good they are at adjusting, and boy, did they do it. They turned on in that second half.
See how it goes.
And Icebox hasn't exactly been a, you know, too
this
consistent
was
pick for
Soniqs'
Soniqs, but
map
they enjoy
pick.
to play Icebox. They love to counter pick, period.
That's really good.
That's what Soniqs, or that's what Ian even told us during the call, that he likes to study their opponents, and he likes to go with what is their least favorable pick, or they just like to go with what they're feeling. In Soniqs, it looked like they were on their A game throughout Icebox, but Sentinels, man, they went back into that Masters winning mode that we were really dying to see throughout really the end of
that
the
shot
first
by
half
Bob
and the
was
beginning of
actually
the second
crazy
half,
though.
but they turned on the Jets anyways.
Yeah, now going into this second map, at least going into Split, this is such a weird map pool because we go Icebox, Split, and then Ascent, right? It's the 2 maps that most people don't prefer to play, but going into Split, I feel like we're going to see the exact same energy from both these sides. They're going to be very minor agent composition changes. Most importantly, Sentinels, they've been running Astra on Split. Yesterday when they played against one of the early teams, I think in the round of 64, when they did get to Split, they were playing Astra, so that's a little bit different, and we know Soniqs love to use Astra, at least from past interviews, so I'm curious to see what exactly Ian has in his plan book to counter Sentinels and what Shazam has.
No follow.
Astra
No, I don't.
possibly
I
counter
don't follow
Soniqs.
Sentinels.
I'm excited to see Split too because
I don't know how long Tyson's going to be on loan for.
Sully, listen to this. Soniqs has only played Split a singular time.
Okay, I'll follow.
In the last 3 months, like, what? And the same thing was 6 months before that. They just do not play Split. So even for those that are fans of the Oceanic scene and have been following Soniqs, this team has only played 1 official Split in the last 3 or so months. So
a follow doesn't mean much to me.
Dude, this is more of a question for us NA casters than it is
Why
for
are you, Element, you're wearing the jersey? Yeah, so it's because Tyson plays.
Like, they're kind of irrelevant because they played 1 game in the last 3 months, 2 games in the last 6 months. So their Split game, dude, it could have been. There could be a ginormous like change. We don't know because we know Soniqs have talked about in the past about how coming to NA, there's such a big style change from the slow style in Oceania to the insanely fast pace from North America. So there could be a huge agent composition shift from what we know
Sentinels
or what
by
we think
Tyson.
Soniqs could be going with from the very small sample size that
C9
we have.
allows it.
Well, let's see it. As the agent composition starts to formulate now for Soniqs, what are you looking out for from at least their prior experience?
Well, I think from the get-go, we obviously know Dizzy Life. He is kind of the core of this team when it comes to one agent.
Tyson
is
is
jet operator. He runs
19
jet. We really only
years
see him by the
old.
operator, and from time to time, we might see him ball
Turning 20.
Yeah, Dizzy's going to stick to it. Plix, he's always going to be that second duelist. Now, I think in the past, at times, they did
Tyson is
play
an
Raze.
expensive
They've
bish.
now switched to Reyna because that enables maybe Plix a little bit more, right? You can be that second entry right behind Dizzy, and it's a little bit interesting, though. We say that, but that's the dynamic that Jet and Reyna have.
How old are you? I'm
like
19.
He's not a player to really jump into the fight and get the nitty-gritty entries that need to happen. So it does look like for now, Soniqs, nothing has really changed. Ian's picked up the KJ.
And thank you, Guy Bible, for the 5 gifted subs.
On the side of Sentinels, it's disaster that I'm really looking towards.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, they already used it once. They used it yesterday, Sully. So how does this actually change the Split approach? Because
Astra
I mean,
should be
Astra is essentially
interesting.
brand new to top competitive play. This is the first Riot sanctioned event that we see Astra actually live. So Sentinels picking it up early might be a sign of the change. Or
yeah, Tyson and I live together. We've lived together for over a year now.
We're yet to see a Sentinels Astra play, but I imagine it's going to be a lot of combining utility, right? You've got 2 Sentinels, 2 duels in that single controller. No initiators from what they used to.
What's my favorite fruit? My favorite fruit is a granadilla.
So this isn't too big of a change. It's just having a different controller with a little bit more utility users. I still feel as though you can still use Astra the same way as maybe an Omen.
A granadilla. I think it's pronounced.
But I think with that extra utility, knowing how complex
I think this is how it's pronounced.
And knowing what Shazam probably has up his sleeve, this is definitely going to be an interesting one.
Very, very yummy.
Yeah, they used to run Sky at a couple of times, but it was mostly just a counter pick and something that they experimented with just a fair few times before they would still run. They would still run the Sage. They would actually run Omen instead. So this is
not passion
very much
fruit.
The same
Passion
comp.
fruit
It's
and
just that Omen
granadilla
has
are
been
very
taken out
different things.
And Astra put in. At least for the side of Soniqs, from the one time that they played it, they haven't changed a singular thing, Sully.
It's really tasty.
Yeah, I mean,
it's similar to a passion fruit.
Really
I would say
because
it's less tart. It's sweeter.
Again, the 2 very different styles.
Dizzy AFK.
I think that's more amplified by the fact that they're running a Cypher instead, right? Cypher can be a very aggressive AD. You can get a lot more map control given.
You're right. Dizzy is
so
disconnected.
Soniqs running that KJ much more. I'd say out of the 2 Sentinels, I guess out of the 3, if you want to include Sage, is a lot more control based, right? You can control an entire site. You can metaphorically and literally lock down an entire site. So Soniqs on the defense, this is where they, I think, need to kick it into gear. Their stats in the past, at least against the teams they played in Oceania, 83% win rate on attack. But again, it's 1 map, it's 1 sample size, and they did win that map, I think, like 13-3 anyway. So I don't know. Take that as you will. So Soniqs,
I think they paused.
an entirely different region, an entirely different battlefield. It's split.
Tyson's still on
It's
that.
same composition.
Poopy
It's what they're
ping.
used to. With Sentinels,
It's fine.
little changes, little things could be the difference.
It's like 16 to 20 different, but.
Let's see it as we start to go live here, folks. Map number 2 between
How do you pronounce
Soniqs
your
and
real name?
Sentinels.
It's
It's
just
Oceania
Kyedae.
facing off against North America. Sentinels, they already started off with a
I just
bang,
want
but
Tyson
same
to
thing with
play,
Soniqs.
like,
Momentum
at
is
LAN.
high, and let's see if that can transfer over to Split as we start off map 2.
3-man stacked straight up and towards A ramp. This is interesting. They even throw a one-way, so Dapper, that control is a little nullified. Doesn't go for it. So now I think, at least for the side of Soniqs, they kind of read, okay, we have most of A on lockdown. They have an alarm bot just in case a player goes straight into elevator, but these smokes, there they go. They grab well as well to pull players in. Bob is just going to try and delay. He needs to back away. He does get a hefty shock dart, though, onto tenz, tagging him down to red, but Sentinels, they've got control of the site, and they're looking comfortable, at least for now.
The best I've ever gotten was 16 ping, but I still play like shit.
All their eggs into one basket.
This dude's name is Bomb.
Having that set up over towards heaven, so we're aiming towards a retake anyways. Sentinels ended up going the other direction, so let's see how they actually treat this one out. Most of the players actually coming in through B main. That's kind of crazy. They make their way out quick, though. Shazam picking up 2 immediately. Dizzy Light trying to dash on. Does end up taking out Shazam. Now he zombs. Still with another one and still in the back of sight. It's actually Crossfire. Sick right in the middle of smoke. And with one last person remaining, Crunchy needs to go into a 1v3. And Sentinels, they open things up with a fairly clean pistol round as Soniqs, again, I don't know what they were even trying to go for. It looked very coordinated, but it's rare that we ever see, at least in terms of a B retake, only one singular choke point being used.
Yeah, Soniqs is, at least in the past from what we've seen from their VODs with their retakes, is a very burst style, right? They'll send in a single flash and try and retake the site from there out. One thing that they did note is that what they
Guys, I need to stop saying sheesh. It's such a bad habit. It started off as a fucking joke and now it's turned into a really bad habit.
Whereas in that one at least, and they experience it definitely on Icebox, is that Sentinels, they stick around in that site. So to burst from one area and to have 3 different players watching you, it's only guaranteed, I feel like, to be disastrous in that
Going
sense.
into your astral form, like, in the open like that, kind of scares me.
One singular person on B site. Again, Ian is the only one with contact. And right as the Nebula goes up, tenz times it. It takes out Ian before it even blooms. And just like that, it's B site control again. But what on earth is going on? Sentinels, they actually want to fight the rotation early. Shazam might be here to just farm. Same thing with tenz.
It's on me. Let's go.
Still gets a kill. Tenz, well, does take down Bomb.
Yes, the lurk.
Down, not exactly. But it's the paranoia that blinds him and could just
get
one last one out of this. There you go. Stat padding. That's what tenz does best.
Also, a big thing is that with him,
these sheeshes are so sad. What do you want?
Nice little addition, at least for tenz going into this next round of.
Oh my! I hate myself. It's okay.
Probably sick to get his ult up. So Sentinels, 2 quick rounds on the board. Soniqs gonna be able to respond back with their buy. This is where things,
woke up.
like we saw in Icebox, are gonna start to heat up just a little bit because now Soniqs, they've got the guns, they can get a little more confident, can get a little more.
Hunter 0-0-0.
Side of Sentinels. And
beautiful.
5-player push. Stars already down.
Karis, be proud of your man.
So much util committed.
You're depressed. I'm not depressed. I'm just tired.
And it's yet another free take for Sentinels. I mean,
let's go.
3 rounds in a row. We're just not seeing any sort of contest from Soniqs.
You're the best rover ever. I don't know about that.
I don't know if this is a sign of what they do for splits or if this is play style, but well, as long as they have a plan in check, as long as they have a contingency plan, potentially they could counteract. But let's see how they even take this on, because now you have a gravity pull over towards ramp. That delays even more time. Shazam on the front line takes down Ian, and tenz is on a crossfire, taking down Crunchy and screens.